Freelance greetings! Today we're gonna talk about something that most of people call inefficient, and some even say that it doesn't have place in a game like Helldivers 2. But to all of that, I say no. It is efficient and it does have a place in the game. And of course, as you saw the title and the thumbnail, I'm talking about the melee. Yes, I personally say that it is an effective tactic, but you have to know when to use it, how to use it, and what even its role. So hopefully I will teach you something. Let's get into it. I'm of course not going to talk about every single melee weapon that we have in the game, as we already have quite a few of them, but we still have to go over their characteristics. Melee weapons of course are the up-close weapons, I mean that's quite literally melee, but also all of the melee weapons have good durable damage, which we all know that Arrowhead loves. So durable body parts won't be a problem for it. And all of them have good stagger, so any enemy that you're fighting will have harder time to hit you back. We have two types of these weapons. We have the swingy things, which have AoE, less range, but they vary in speed of swinging, depending on which one you pick. And we have the pokey thing. They have more range, but they are more of the single target. But with the all pokey things we have, which are the stunless and the flag, there is a trade-off for having stun, so I don't know if it's a fair trade, but it is there. You don't lose everything by picking the pokey stuff. But of course, just the characteristics isn't enough. You also have to know when and how to use this weapon. Role of melee weapons lay in the survivability category, meaning they will protect you from dying. More exactly, they will protect you if something approaches you way too close, you pull out the melee weapon, and you defeat the enemies that are bothering your personal space. With one exception being the cyborgs, as if they approach you first, you have basically no time to react from their kicks. Only option is to dive away, get up, and wish that you don't get kicked in the time you're getting up. But if you approach them first and you start attacking them first, they don't attack you as fast before you can hit them, meaning you will keep them staggered and they are unable to fight back. But this is just a single exception. Other than that, enemies approach you first and then you attack. If you are trying to use melee as a replacement of the standard weaponry, no wonder you see it as inefficient, because well, that's simply not melee's role. But you might ask me, why would you ever use melee if you could just use primary or secondary to defend yourself when the enemies are up close? Well, there are a few reasons for it. First of all, enemies will stagger you if they're too close and are hitting you. And the stagger will make you miss the shots. And with the melee weapons you don't have that problem, they don't get affected that much. Especially the swingy things, as they have, like I said, the AoE. You will still be hitting things, but with the guns you will be missing shots and losing ammo. Which also is a problem that melee doesn't have. Melee has infinite ammo, meaning you will not ever run out of ammo, and will have to reload before the horde on you, just on top of you, isn't dead yet. You can keep swinging until everything is dead. While also applying stagger to the enemies, so the enemy will have harder time attacking you back and will get pushed back, giving you more room to breathe. Also, once again, like I said, swingy things are the AoE, which doesn't hurt you. Of course you could use explosive primary, explosive secondary, or the throwable, but all of this will just kill you, and melee will not. Melee AoE doesn't hurt you, while still, like I said, it is AoE. And overall, most of the melee weapons deal way more damage than any secondary or most of the primaries, with exception of the shotguns. But shotguns are simply irrelevant, so it's anyways better to use the melee weapon. But you also have to know which melee weapon to choose. And of course it depends on the front. For the boss front, you should be taking more heavy hitting weapons like the machete, chainsaw, or the new siege hammer, or something pokey like the stun lance or the flag, though flag isn't the best pick, it's better to just use the stun lance. It's because either you have more range, so the stuff can't hit you back that easily, or you deal enough good damage to not spend eternity hitting the enemies, and as we know, bot front is the heavy front of this game. For the back front, it depends, because it depends on the seed, which you can't predict. Overall, if it's a hunter seed, which are weaker enemies that spawn in bigger groups, you would prefer to use something faster like the sword. But if it's like Hive Guard seed, you probably would prefer something heavier hitting, like the machete. So for the back front, it is the safest to use the axe. But like I said, you can just predict it, so even though other options are better, the axe is just the middle ground, so it would be the best pick here. And for the squids, enemies are very weak and there are thousands of them, so you should be using something really fast. And the fastest we have is the saber, while still maintaining the good damage. You could also use the stun button, but I'm not fan of them, because it barely deals any damage, and the stun in this case is a worse pick than just using the sword, which has way more damage than the stun button has. Overall, for squids, you pick something fast hitting. And now to the Equipment Advisory section. I have just a few shoutouts for the melee weapons. The first one are of course the armor passives, the Peak Physique, Rock Solid and Reinforced Epaulettes, boosting the melee damage by 2/1, 40% and Reinforced Epaulettes by 20%. These are just enough of the boosts for the melee to be even more efficient than it can be without the passive. I most of the time run them with passive, but really not for the passive itself, but more of the grip of the melee weapon, so it fits to what I'm wearing. The second one are the stun grenades, and it's pretty self-explanatory. If something isn't moving, it's going to be way easier to deal with than if it would be moving and attacking you back. And lastly, the Ward Pack, which is the best of the mobility backpacks for melee, as it doesn't get you so much away from the enemy, but allows you to maneuver freely, and if you have luck, you will destroy some lighter folks that try to flank you by warping into them. And lastly, what should be changed about melee, because even though I love it, it's not even close to being perfect. Well, I don't even really have any ideas. Further buffing it would be kind of weird and out of place. Only reason that is coming to my mind is to give someone who uses melee, like in this moment they have the melee in their hand, like the sword, they have sword in their hand, they get some boost to movement speed by, let's say, 10%. It would make melee more appealing, and it will make melee easier. It probably wouldn't be that much of a changer, but it still will make melee more appealing and better. If you have better ideas than mine, I will gladly listen to you in the comment section. And yeah, this is going to be it from me. I hope that I made you look at melee a little bit differently, to say the least, that I teach you something about it. And I will be signing off. See you in the next one, Helldivers.